Hi, and welcome to Colitica's Cost Report Analyzer. Today I'm going to show you in a very short video how a specific hospital may be asked a question. Hospital wants to know what is the average length of stay that it has compared to its competition in the area. Well, it's quite simple. What you do is you pick the year, and in this case I'll pick 2015. And now we have this particular cost report available to us. The next step would be to figure out where are the average length of stay lines. In other words, in this very complex cost report, where exactly can I find this? So what you do is you come up here, click, 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 and you will then type in the word ALOS, and let's see what we get. Okay, so it seems like there are these 4 hospitals that are that have that specific word average length of stay, and it's in worksheet A00, G 30,000, and G 30,000. So if this is not one of the worksheet, at least it gives you an idea where to start. Now let's go ahead and get started and start getting the data. Since this is a small number and looks like this exact word only exists in a limited number of hospitals, another way to do this is to simply go up here and type in the average length of stay, discharges, or whatever it is. You can also select an and or, and you will get this result based on the entire United States. So when we run that, what we get is a list of hospitals that are within the bed size, and the average length of stays are filtered. So it says anything between 10 and 30. So it will go between 10 and 30. Each one of these columns is sortable, so you can sort them if you want, or you can sort them by state, for example, and you can now look at your state. So let's assume we are in the state of District of Columbia. Let's see. And here's DC. National Rehab Hospital and Specialty Rehab Hospital. And let's see. So, as I realized from doing this search, this particular word is actually not enough to do a search, because you can see if you look at the column, there's no values. So I did a second search, and this time I used some filters, and I said to the filters, tell me about all the hospitals that are between 10 and 30. And you can see now we have 10 and 30. So there's your filter. But I did something else too. I actually went in and I said, well, just let me see where the word days occurs. And if you look over here, these are all the worksheets, and then the word days occur, and you can see it's right there. There's days, and there's the word days. So you can do a search on any of this, but this is a good start, and you can use it from here. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going and I'm going to open up an existing report, because it's a lot easier to do. But the way you set up any report is you come over here, you select your hospital name. In this case, I'm in DC, so I'm going to select my hospital in DC, and DC is right there. And I'm going to select Howard, and the reason is because I happen to have their cost report, and it's easy to compare. So what I'm going to do is I can select this, I can put this on column, row, page, or slice, which is basically a filter. So I'll put them on columns, and then I have that, and then I can click more than one if I want. I can put this one, there it is. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and pick a worksheet. I'll just pick a worksheet that I'm familiar with, and it happens to be G, because G has a lot of financial data. So we'll pick G0, G1, and so on and so forth. Now I'm going to set those as page, which basically comes across as a tab, and now you can see selected right there. We don't have anything in slice, and we don't have anything in rows. We have to have 2 more selections. If I try to get the data right now, it's going to tell me that that's not the case, and that you need to have more selections. But in any way, here I select this, and then and due to shortage of time, I'm going to try to just select a few that I kind of just know are there in terms of their data. So here's 0100. 0100 is basically, if you look over here, it's this column over here. 0100 is this column right here. This is 0, 100, and I'm going to select that, and I'm going to select 0, 200 because I know that that's there too, and there it is. Sorry, it's 0, 2000. I shouldn't select that. I need to select 0, 200, not 0, 2000. Here is 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 200, and there it is. And now I'm going to go select the column. I'm going to actually select as column because it's easy. Now I'm going to basically select that on. So I will actually select that on column because it's easier to view the data. And then it says, do you want to swap? I swapped, and that's fine. It deselected the hospital, so I'm going to go back here and select the hospital back on the slice this time. So there we go. All right, hospital is selected. It's on the slice, and slice is like a filter. So all the data now is filtered for that particular slice, or in this case, that hospital. I come up here, select line, in this case, let's say 0, 100 or 0, 1000, whichever it is. I'll select 0, 100. And quick. Now, if you were trying to do this on your own, imagine going through all of this. So very quickly, I'll go to worksheet G, and which is at the end, and just compare this data real quick, and then we'll do a comparison. So as you can see, the data is in here, and you can very quickly compare this to the data that's actually on the cost report itself. This so happens to be the cost report of 2014, and this is 2015. So that's where the difference comes, but that's how you can very quickly compare, and I can show you 2014 as well very quickly. I'm going to select 2014 here. So we have 2014 here, and what I'm going to do is actually I have some saved reports, which I'm going to basically just pull up. Line A8 because it's easier. I'm just going to select that. And here we have some sheets A, B, C, D. So if we can go to sheet A and look at line 100, you'll see, I'll go to sheet A real quick. All right, so here's your sheet A right here. Here's my sheet A right here. And if you look at line 0, 100, which is this line right here, and you look at column 0, 400, you can see the numbers are matching. So this grabbed those numbers within a split second. Now, if we wanted to compare these, it's pretty simple. But let's go back to our original question, which was, hey, where is the length of stay? So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to now figure out something a little bit different. And the reason is because there was no ALOS word in there, but we need to look at days. So let's see what we have here in terms of days. So I'm going to sort this. Look at inpatient days right here. It says it's on worksheet D 10,001, line number 100. So let's go and grab that, and then we'll compare some hospitals on their inpatient days. So here is D right here. Okay, so I now basically selected everything in D because I didn't know which one it was, and I said get me all the worksheets that have lines 100, 200, and 400. Now, anytime you want to see where you are, you can very quickly go over here and see what's been selected. So that's what's been selected here. That's what's been selected on the row 1, 200, 300. This is the column selection, and that's basically this selection right up here, as you can see, right here, 100 to 2000. There's no data in these two columns. That's why it's not showing it. But now I know that that's what in there. Now you can see right here, here's another set of numbers, and what we're getting is inpatient days, including private rooms. So let's say now we want to compare this. Now a lot of these sheets ended up without any data, so you can actually go in and close them out. It doesn't affect the speed too much, but it's just easier to read. Your deselect, just select say yes, unselect it, go up down there, and then find these two sheets and select them. So here's one, and the other one is A191, and these are the only twos that I need to get. So I'm going to basically update it, and it should update it with only these two. Now we have these two very quickly. Now I'm going to try to do is not try. I am going to do hospitals in the column, and the rows will remain the same, and we can very quickly compare what the inpatient days were if they were reported on these lines. Okay, so in order for me to compare, I'm going to pick any two hospitals that I want in the area, and actually I could pick it from the entire United States. For example, this hospital is in Washington, D.C. You can pick Virginia, and now Virginia is going to be available to you. And here are all the cities in Virginia. So I'm going to pick Fairfax because it's close by. Here's Fairfax. And I'm going to pick Inova, and I'm going to put that in there as well. Now, the one thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to have to switch because I want to put these on the columns. I'm going to switch slice to column. So let's click update. And here's your answer very quickly. As you can see, now you can compare yourself to these hospitals, Howard, Inova, not-for-profit corporation. These are, by the way, their numbers or record numbers that we use. So I can move this over here, and this is very flexible in terms of you can select, deselect. If I don't want to see the row, I can deselect. If I don't see psych, I can deselect that. Clicking over here allows you to download any of the data sets or lines that you want to download. So now very quickly, I have a comparison of the hospital. Let's say if I want to see a slightly different view of this because I don't like the, I want these headings to be changed, I can come over here and very quickly I can change row to column, column to row, page. Any of these settings can be changed and with a click. So if you look over here, for example, now I can go over here and I'm going to say, okay, my rows, I want those changed over to columns. So I'm going to change that to the column, yes. And then I'm going to close this. I'm going to get the hospitals, and very quickly it should give me the changed over data set. Now notice it's updating this as well, but it's giving me the same information actually. Okay, here we go. Now we've changed it, and it's changed over to this particular format. Again, you can change this format in any way you want. I could now change, if I wanted to move these to pages, I can do that. So I'll do that very quickly. I'm going to move these into tabs and bring these sheets down here so you know which sheets they're on. So very quickly, I'm going to go over to the hospitals, and I'm going to say, okay, I don't want this to be on the rows. I actually want this to be on the pages. So I go over here, I click, and click again, right click, and I can say put this on the page. It'll automatically switch. It'll swap it for you, close it, and then you just update. And here we are. Now you can see the hospitals are in the tabs. So this is by hospital now, by worksheet, by columns, and here are your values. So very quickly, you can select these and do that. Now, let's say you've already done this. So I'm going to go back now and put back the columns. Change the columns with the page, the rows with the page, so we're back into the worksheet format. And I'm going to come over here very quickly, and I don't want these to be pages anymore, so I'm going to click, right click, and I'm going to make these rows now. And yes, swap it please, done, and update the page. And here you are. Now you have the version that you're looking for, along with the descriptions you're looking for. So if you were trying to compare these, you can see now Howard University versus Inova. That's what their inpatient days are. So this is like a startup point. Now, if you wanted to get average length of stay, you can do further analysis and get into any of these data sets. And in the end, you will have the answer that you're looking for. But in addition to that, you will have full capability of integration other data sets. The biggest problem with any research or any what we call a non-structured request is that you don't know what you're looking for. So this particular application allows you to do that, and our artificial intelligence algorithms will actually start to predict stuff if you add data to it. So for example, just for the sake of argument, there's temperatures for a given day for the given hospital and a given census, it will add that data and it will try to make sense of it. And there's no limit to the type of data. And we provide that as part of our consulting services for data integration. Hopefully this helps you. And if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Here's my contact information. You can reach me at this particular email, or you can call me at this number or text me. I'll be happy to help you out with any additional questions that you may have. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching this video.